Today we're recording Steve Roberts for the Kentish Spires, and this is going to be the drum setup. So on the bass drum we have two microphones, one in, one out. The one inside is an AKG D112. We went for a more sort of 70s sound rather than the more modern. I usually use an Audix D6, which is a more modern, clicky and bottom sort of sound. The D112 gives a more middly sort of 70s sort of sound. This is a condenser mic, an Aston. I use that on the outside. It gets more of the shell and just gets a more natural sort of bass drum sound. So on the snare we have three mics. This is a Shure Beta 56, which is pretty much an SM57 Shure in a smaller box. And right next to it we've got a little Shure clip-on mic, which you usually put on toms. But what I found was this was giving a lot of mid and punch, and this was picking up the brightness and the real bottom end. So the two of them mixed together has got a really good sound. And there's one underneath, which is an AKG 452. And that's got that's just for the underneath, picking up the snares, the rattly stuff. Don't use much of that, but now and again it's nice to mix in. On the toms we have Electro Voice RE20. A lot of the people use these for vocals. If you see any John Anderson recording the I think it's the Tomato album, they're all using these. They're really good, but I find them really good on toms. And I got the same on the floor tom. This is an RE27. It's the same as the other one, but this has got an extended bass response, so the floor tom sounds better through it. I always put a Shure SM57 on the ride. A lot of people use big, very expensive condenser mics. That sounds the best on the ride. I got an Audio Technica ATM 450, which is a downwards facing microphone, so it looks like it's pointing this way, but it's actually picking up from that direction. Overheads are Shure KSM 27s, condenser mics, pretty much bog standard. They're a little bit brighter than the usual AKG 414, which is a lot of people's choice, but I prefer those. They sound a lot better. Right on the front there we have this, which is a Coles 4038. It's a ribbon mic, and it was designed in the 50s for the BBC. And I just put one of those pointing straight at the snare, in between the snare and the kick, compress it to hell and back, and it just gives a little bit more definition on the drum hits on the snare and the toms as well. Take a lot of the top end off, otherwise you just have cymbal wash all over it. And I think that's about it.